Right now, we're taking a look at how the government is working to help out those who have lost their jobs in the mass shutdowns brought by the coronavirus pandemic.
Plus, how homeless shelters are working through new restrictions and limited resources to provide for those who need it the most.
And we have an alert day in the forecast for today with the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon. All the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. It is Thursday, March 19th. I'm Josh Freider.
And I'm Christina Laurie. We'll catch up with Leah, who's still working from home, in just a few minutes.
We do want to start this morning with meteorologist Hattie McLean, who's tracking some severe weather, but right now some fog this morning, Hattie.
You're right, Josh and Christina. We do have some fog, although the visibility at the Capitol actually looking a little better than it did last hour. This is the view from our Edgewater sky camera shot. We have no issues seeing the dome of the Capitol. We can see, though, that there is quite a bit of fog through southwestern Wisconsin. Dubuque reporting quarter-mile visibility. There is an issue with some of the reporting stations where they're not sending numbers or data yet this morning, but the fog is thickest in far southern and southwestern Wisconsin. Take a look at the alert day in the forecast, though, for today. The main threats would be damaging winds, but that slight risk area does include about the southern two tiers of counties. So from Dane County points to the south, it's a slight risk area, a marginal risk, so lesser of a risk in our northern viewing area. Nothing showing up on the radar map right now, so if you want to get outside today, I would recommend earlier rather than later. Here's a look at your future track forecast model. Again, as we head towards the 7 o'clock hour, you'll start to see some of those rain showers moving a little closer across Iowa, but by 10 o'clock, southwestern Wisconsin is likely to be getting wet, and those showers and isolated thunderstorms closing in on Madison pretty quickly as we head towards the lunch hour. So through the afternoon, maybe not the best time to be outside. I do expect some thunderstorms across the area, as well as the potential for some heavy rain. The rain threat continues right into the evening hours. We could see some strong severe thunderstorms up until about midnight. Then things will quiet down. Now, cold air is going to work its way in behind this system, so there still is the risk for a little bit of snow. Maybe just like yesterday morning, we could see a narrow band of snow moving through that could accumulate on the grassy surfaces. Not a lot of snow is expected. This is mainly going to be a rain event for us, and you can see some of these numbers. Future track potential precipitation on the high side with close to an inch possible here in Madison. So that could lead to some areas of flooding. Take a look at your extended forecast. It does get a little better heading into the weekend. At least the weather dries out. It will stay cool, though. Check out that low Saturday morning, 18 degrees. Here's a look at your first warn traffic maps. No major issues. Just keep in mind that there is some fog in southern Wisconsin this morning, but looks like your drive times are near normal right now.
Thank you so much for tracking all that, Hattie. Right now, the United States is nearing 10,000 cases of the coronavirus, and we've now passed the 100 case mark here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, health departments across the state are reporting 117 positive tests this morning. That includes the first, second, and third confirmed cases in La Crosse County. That's out of roughly 1,600 people who have now been tested. Dane County has 23 cases, and Columbia County is also reporting its first two cases this morning.
The Families First Coronavirus Response Act will soon go into effect after the president signed it last night. Also known as Phase 2, this bill provides free testing, expanded funding for food security programs, and paid sick, family, and medical leave for workers at companies with 500 or fewer employees. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson is one of 8 people who voted against the bill. In a statement, he says, although I want to provide immediate financial support to Americans and American businesses, I voted no because the Senate failed to address the major problem with the bill that was eminently fixable. The quote, major problem he's talking about is an amendment that would have waived the waiting period for state unemployment benefits and would have reimbursed employers with less than 500 employees who voluntarily provided paid sick and family leave.
6:03 right now. Lots of you watching from home this morning will be staying home for the rest of the day, maybe even the week, as we try to juggle working remotely plus parenting with your kids out of school.
And that's really smart to stay home if you can. Leah Linscheid, she can stay home. She's live in her living room this morning sharing some advice on how to manage it all. Hey, Leah.
Hi, Christina and Josh. Yes, comfortable in my living room, but I am missing my colleagues, especially you two. I am on day 4 of working from home, and I can tell you from this little experience that routine is king. Now, throw in a couple of kids, and things can get really hectic at home, especially if you're trying to teach them from homework. So we have some ideas for you to keep in mind as you try to work and parent while staying home and staying sane, by the way. Let's start with that routine. This is so important. We have a couple of free templates up on our website right now for you to utilize, but here's a really simple idea that I thought would work pretty easily with everybody's schedule. Starting with that care plan. Try and make that first hour of the day as normal as possible. Wake the kids up on time, have them eat breakfast, maybe you take a walk around the block if that's something you would normally do. Then move into that work plan. This is a scheduled block of time to work on schoolwork. And by the way, you can use some screen time here. Lots of educational videos out there for you to use. I was just looking on Disney Plus. They have lots of documentaries that also come with workbooks, so a great idea there. Now, you might as well take advantage of teaching some life skills too, right? Having the kids help around with chores in the house. Maybe that's doing dishes, doing the laundry. You can teach them a little responsibility while also taking some of that workload off of your own back. Next, I want to talk about communicating realistic expectations. This is important as well, especially with your coworkers. If you're honest about some of the restrictions you're facing at home, your coworkers can also feel like they can be upfront and honest about what they're dealing with. So everyone has a realistic workload at work. You can also be honest with your kids and with yourself. Give your family a bit of a break. These are unprecedented times, so things will go a little bit haywire every once in a while. Now, as I have mentioned, up on channel3000.com, we have a host of things that you can take advantage of. We have schedule templates, we have educational videos, we have other online tools that are free for you to use. I want you to take a look at those if you're struggling to figure out what exactly to do with the kids as they're home and you're trying to get some work done. In the meantime, in about half an hour, I will continue to provide you with some of those resources, see if we can help you out. Josh and Christina.
Leah reporting from home this morning. Leah, thank you. Businesses are closing and layoffs are increasing every day. It's leaving a lot of people worried about their finances. The Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development says if you lose your job during this pandemic, you are eligible for unemployment benefits, including insurance. As for the small businesses losing money right now, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation says state and federal agencies are working on that as we speak. They're also working on an emergency waiver so those who apply for these options who are living paycheck to paycheck don't have to wait a week for them to kick in.
Breaking overnight, Wisconsin-based Harley-Davidson says it is temporarily suspending all production after an employee at their Menominee Falls facility tested positive for COVID-19. This news comes after the 3 top American automakers all announced they will also be suspending production. Ford, Fiat, Chrysler, and General Motors will all close their plants during the coronavirus outbreak. A Ford leader announced on Twitter that the company will stop production starting tonight. No word on when those plants might reopen.
The New York Stock Exchange will also be temporarily closing trading floors as they make the move to fully electronic trading next week. The announcement comes after 2 people, a member of the trading floor and a New York Stock Exchange employee, tested positive for COVID-19. Both individuals who tested positive were screened on Monday and not allowed to enter the building.
That decision also comes after another major sell-off. All 3 indices fell at least 5% at the closing bell. Nearly all of what has been gained during President Donald Trump's term in the White House now gone.
Right now, Target is scaling back its hours. The Minneapolis-based store says it will close at 9 o'clock to cut hours during the pandemic. Target says the move is an effort to give staff more time to clean and restock.
Walmart, meanwhile, says it is committing $25 million to support organizations responding to this pandemic. $5 million will go to help countries prevent and manage the virus. $10 million will go towards food security programs, and the other $10 million will help support the efforts here in American communities. The first grants are expected to be issued later this week.
Size restrictions on child care facilities throughout the state go into effect today. Centers will not be able to operate with more than 10 staff members present at a time and cannot operate with more than 50 children at once. Those restrictions will stay in place for the duration of the public health emergency.
The YMCA of Dane County is launching programs at 7 different locations throughout the county to provide free daily meals for kids and adults. Children 18 years old and younger are eligible to receive 2 free meals per day at these locations in Sun Prairie, listed there on your screen. The YMCA YMCA will provide 100 meals Monday through Friday. Adults and especially seniors will also be eligible to receive meals through the YMCA's Drive Up Meal program. Those are available at these locations. 125 meals will be available every day.
Statewide closures are starting to have a negative impact on area nonprofits. In Rock County, nonprofits say the pandemic has already forced them out of tens of thousands of dollars in funding. Groups like the Echo and Edgerton Community Outreach are seeing an increase in need for several of their programs, including rent assistance and providing groceries for the food insecure. Groups say the biggest thing they need right now was monetary donations, followed by non-perishable food items. If you'd like to help, we've put links on the Channel 3000 mobile app.
Shelters are keeping some of our most vulnerable community members safe and healthy during this time, but with new restrictions and limited resources, that is becoming even more difficult. Porchlight says it has an average of 130 men a night at its 3 overnight shelters, but Executive Director Carla Ten says essential supplies like masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer are nearly gone. They're low on staff, and the social distancing recommendation of standing 6 feet apart just isn't possible.
We are full. People are sitting on mats on the floor. They're inches apart.
Ten says Porchlight is now pushing government officials to find a larger site to use as an emergency shelter so people can quarantine if necessary and give those without a home the same protections as everyone else.
The Ronald McDonald House Charities of Madison is trying to make some lemonades out of lemons this morning. They rely solely on volunteers, including for their meals, but with 14 families currently housed inside, they don't want anyone from the outside coming in. So now they are turning to all local restaurants who are creating family-style carry-out meals. They say this way they can feed the families using their services, all the while supporting local restaurants.
So what we're doing is raising money. We're asking people to donate to us, and then we will literally pay these restaurant owners to cater in food for our families. And so it's a win-win for everybody.
I love this story. The Ronald McDonald House is partnering with many different local restaurants. Officials were reluctant to name names, adding they are grateful for all of the options.
Feeding people and helping our community. Love it.
It doesn't take very much either.
No. Today is an alert day. Mother Nature didn't get the memo that we already have enough going on. We're tracking the chance for severe weather. Here's a live look outside this morning on this first day of spring. Officially kicks off today. Hattie joins us next with the latest first warned forecast.
Also ahead, how airlines are trying to stay afloat amid border closures and travel restrictions. This is News 3 Now this morning.
Introducing Top Tracer, the new golf ball tracking and gaming system at the golf range of Vitence Golfland. Top Tracer gathers data for every shot. Compete against friends in a point game or play a virtual round of golf. Experience Top Tracer at Vitence Golfland.
I'm happy head to toe. I'm in overdrive. I'm ready, 'cause these are the best days. These are the best days. These are the best days. These are the best days of our lives.
From kids to pets and parties, we'll lay the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 75 years. During our 75th anniversary event, standard carpet installation is just $75. Carpet 1 room, 3 rooms, even your whole house, and installation is only $75. Coyle Carpet 1 Floor and Home, locally owned and operated since 1945.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about coming together. It's families, friends. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Introducing Top Tracer, the new golf ball tracking and gaming system at the golf range of Vitense Golfland. Top Tracer gathers data for every shot. Compete against friends in a point game or play a virtual round of golf. Experience Top Tracer at Vitense Golfland.
Welcome back. We are following breaking news out of Janesville overnight. Police there are investigating a shooting. They say it happened just after 11:30 in an apartment on Midvale Drive, just off of Humes Road. A caller reported that a man shot himself in the leg and the bullet hit another person in that apartment. Officers arrived and tended to both victims who have non-life-threatening injuries. Police say all evidence gathered right now indicates this was an accidental shooting. However, they are still investigating.
It is 6:15. Hattie McLean is here now with an alert day forecast. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Josh. You're right, it is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. There is the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms, especially this afternoon and this evening. Right now, it's dry across southern Wisconsin, but this is the severe weather outlook issued by the Storm Prediction Center. It does bring that slight risk area into the far southern part of our state. Madison is included in that slight risk area, as is Milwaukee and Janesville, of course. Doppler track showing you that it's pretty quiet outside this morning, but showers and thunderstorms have been continuing to develop across southwestern Iowa, and they are moving in this direction. So by about 10 o'clock or a little thereafter, we'll start to see that rain spread into southern Wisconsin. Your day planner has fog this morning, but again, through the afternoon and evening, that's when you see those showers and thunderstorms. At least it'll be a little milder with high temperatures near 50 degrees. Enjoy 50 today. Here's a look at the temperatures tomorrow afternoon, only in the 30s.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Breaking this morning, both New Zealand and Australia say they are closing their borders to non-residents. Bloomberg News reports New Zealand's border closed at midnight local time just a couple of hours ago now. Australia says their borders will close at 9 o'clock tomorrow night local time. The Prime Minister for Australia says the reason behind this decision is due to the fact that an overwhelming proportion of coronavirus cases in their country have been imported.
That announcement comes after similar restrictions made here in the U.S. involving our shared border with Canada.
Over the past few days, I've spoken to President Trump about what we can do to slow the spread of COVID-19. Deputy Prime Minister Freeland has been in touch with Vice President Pence and Secretary Pompeo. I just spoke to President Trump again this morning, and we have agreed that both Canada and the United States will temporarily restrict all non-essential travel across the Canada-U.S. border.
Now, both countries say they are eager to stop the spread of the virus, but also maintain their vital economic relationship. There's no timeline when this travel ban will be lifted, but trade is planned to continue.
President Trump has also signed the Defense Production Act to marshal the private sector in response to the coronavirus pandemic.
We've never had to even think in terms of these numbers, but we need millions of masks, and all of that will be ordered. We need respirators. We need ventilators is a big thing because it's a complex piece of equipment.
The president also announcing 2 hospital ships will be mobilized to ease the strain on healthcare systems. The USNS Comfort will be heading to New York. The Department of Housing and Urban Development is providing immediate relief to renters and homeowners by suspending all foreclosures and evictions until the end of April.
Following the growing wave of travel restrictions, the CEO of Delta says the company needs to hit the pause button. Delta Airlines is now making even further cutbacks in service, reducing 70% 50% of its capacity. The airline is parking half of its fleet, and executives are taking pay cuts. The CEO says roughly 10,000 employees have offered to take voluntary leaves of absence. There was no mention of layoffs, but the memo did not rule out the possibility of those.
Some of the passengers from a British cruise ship are back home this morning after being stranded for nearly a week in the Caribbean. The passengers were stranded after several COVID-19 cases were confirmed on board. The ship had been turned away from different ports before finally being allowed to dock into Cuba. Passengers returned to Britain on 4 charter flights. Those who are not considered, or those who are considered not well enough to fly, are being offered support and medical treatment in Cuba.
The city of North Miami Beach, Florida, is rolling out a citywide curfew to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Officials say the curfew is in effect between the hours of 10 o'clock at night until 5 in the morning, and it impacts all restaurants, bars, and clubs. The curfew will remain in effect until further notice. Officials warn any violation of these emergency measures will result in arrest and criminal prosecution.
One small upside of the outbreak this morning: entry to all national parks is now free. The Secretary of Interior has directed the National Park Service to stop collecting entrance fees. Park officials say they want stir-crazy citizens to be able to embrace nature and get out of their homes. Once outside, you are still asked to follow CDC guidelines on social distancing.
And if you're looking for someone to keep you company while you're self-isolating, the Dane County Humane Society is looking for help reducing the number of animals at its shelters. The Humane Society is closed for regular business hours to help limit the spread of coronavirus, but staff are still facilitating adoptions by appointment. The nonprofit has also temporarily suspended its transfer program, which previously allowed them to bring in 20 to 40 dogs every week.
All right, 6:20 right now, and still ahead for us, we're checking out a way that you can still watch Netflix with your friends while also practicing social distancing.
And coming up in our next half hour, we're learning more about a new system here in Wisconsin that determines who should be tested for the coronavirus. We'll be right back.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
For over 30 years, Denver Mattress has been improving the sleeping lives of millions, one night at a time. For a better tomorrow tonight, check out the Summit Queen, only $199.99. Plus, 4 years, no interest financing. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Get more help with your laundry at the laundry cleanup sale now at the Brothers Maine. Save time and money with the latest in laundry from Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Get even more help with free delivery on washer-dryer pairs and a risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. That's why we're the More Store. It's the laundry cleanup sale with more selection, more savings, and more help with your laundry. Only at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
When their cry is a different kind of cry.
When you know they're sick, but are afraid to know how sick they really are.
That's when you want answers. When you need answers.
Because when it's your child,
your baby,
it's different.
This is where you'll find doctors unlike any other doctors, where we treat the untreatable and conquer the seemingly unconquerable. UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Dear road rivals, gotta say, I'm impressed by how hard you've been trying to kick quality up a notch. Maybe one day you too will be named best-selling small SUV in America. A for effort, yours, RAV4.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
For 90 years, we have been at the center of the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on being helpful and doing whatever it takes for our customers. And while our country is experiencing challenging times, we believe we can get through this together. We are doing everything in our power to get you everything you need. Because of the unprecedented demand, there may be some items in this week's ad that you may not be able to find in our stores. We appreciate your patience and support as we work to get more supply. We also realize that now, more than ever, you need to save money. That's why you can count on us to still bring you hot deals and low prices. And you'll find those on Hy-Vee's social media pages and HyVeeDeals.com. And finally, to create a better working and shopping environment, we are shortening our store hours and will be open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., allowing us time to restock shelves and provide a clean, sanitized store. Our more than 80,000 helpful smiles are here, working tirelessly for you.
For over 30 years, Denver Mattress has been improving the sleeping lives of millions, one night at a time. For a better tomorrow tonight, check out the Summit Queen, only $199.99. Plus, 4 years, no interest financing. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
6:24 on a Thursday morning, and check out this photo sent in by Joe and Brenda. Hattie tells us this is a sun pillar. Look at that.
I can't believe you remembered that. I still think it looks like aliens landing here, although I don't know why they'd want to come here and now.
I think, can they take us wherever they're off to?
Yeah, maybe. Well, if you have a picture, please send us our way, hashtag MyNews3Morning, and maybe we'll pick your picture if we like it, if it involves aliens or a made-up story so we can escape reality.
There you go.
We'll show it right here. Well, if you're wanting to watch some Netflix with your friends, but you also want to keep your social distance,
check out a free app called Netflix Party. This is a free ad on your Google Chrome browser. It allows you to share what you're watching with your friends on Netflix and chat on the side while your show or movie plays. All you have to do is Google Netflix Party and you'll be taken to the Google store where you can install it. After that, just find what you want to watch on Netflix, and once you press play, click on the Netflix Party logo in the top right corner, and it will give you a link that you can share so everyone can join in.
I guess that's a kind of innovative way to do it, but I don't know that I want like everyone seeing what I'm watching, because I watch some embarrassing stuff.
Isn't it kind of fun sometimes? Yeah, like you check out stuff that you find on there and then it's like, yeah, I really don't want somebody knowing that I'm watching this. But
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's just kind of nice though, because I think it's a lonely time, and a lot of times you want to watch movies and shows with other people. So
and now with so many different streaming things.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking before the show. There's not only Netflix. You could have a Hulu party. You could have an Amazon Watch or whatever it's called.
Yeah, this app only works for Netflix, but I know it's just kind of fun. Like even Hattie was asking us like, hey, I need a show to watch, and it's kind of fun to be able to share stuff because we're trying to fill our time.
Yeah, and we gave her some good suggestions. Maybe she'll suggest something to you now.
Maybe
Hattie, what are you going to watch next?
Maybe I'll start a Netflix party with you guys. Who knows? Wanted to get to our pet walk forecast, because if this picture doesn't make you want to get a pet, I don't know what does. This is Oliver and Monroe. What a cute picture. It's definitely an inside day today.
All right, Hattie, thank you. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We thank you for that, and we'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Water makes life possible on Earth and in our homes. Culligan conserves this resource with its high-efficiency water softener, the world's best because it uses less water, and that matters to all of us. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. To help you take walks again.
To ease your pain.
To rebuild your strength. And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions. We're here because we care.
We care about you. You.
You. They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics. Listening, healing, caring. It's in our nature.
Update your home today during Menards Think Spring Sale. Right now, over 50 in-stock Patriot Lighting ceiling fans are on sale. Get this Rosella 52-inch ceiling fan for just $179.99. Get free carpet pad after rebate with the purchase of any woven back carpet. Save on irreplaceable plush carpet. It has a soft and luxurious feel, and right now, it's just $149 per square foot. These deals are going on now during Menards Think Spring Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Jill Karofsky's arena, and she doesn't mess around. As a prosecutor and now a trial court judge, Jill has locked up criminals and protected our families. This is also Jill's arena, a two-time Ironman triathlete. No one outworks her. Now Jill is entering this arena, running for the Supreme Court to stop corruption and the influence of big money special interests.
Whether you're a violent criminal or a corrupt politician, I will hold you accountable.
Fair, tough, independent. Jill Karofsky for Supreme Court.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, I'm just so pumped we got all this McDonald's at such a great price.
Mix and match a cheeseburger and McChicken. Any two for just $2.
It's Ford Truck Month, and if this is your kind of day, and this is your kind of truck, then this is your month. Ford Truck Month. Now, get great deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 43 years.
Like a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 months. Or you can lease one for just $239 a month.
Right now, as more people look to get tested for the coronavirus, the DHS is releasing new guidelines on how they decide if you qualify.
And today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. We're watching the potential for some severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon. All of the details in just a second.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday, March 19th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Sprider.
Hope your day's off to a good start. I'm Christina Laurie. We're going to be catching up with Leah just a few minutes from now. She's working from home still, but you're waking up to the calm before the storm,
yes,
literally.
Yes, it's an alert day. We've got a lot to talk about. First, the fog this morning, Hattie, and then the chance for some severe weather later today.
Yeah, we are watching that potential for some severe weather across southern Wisconsin. Now, the main threats with this alert day today would be strong winds from any thunderstorms that develop later on, but there also is the potential for some heavy rain, which could cause issues with flooding, and we cannot rule out an isolated tornado. Here's your severe weather outlook for the southern part of the state. It does include a slight risk area from Dane County and points to the south. Probability of precipitation relatively low this morning, although those storms are already developing to the west, and they'll start to spread into the area after 10 o'clock this morning. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll have more on the rain threat later on today, and then the cold temperatures that follow.
Thank you, Hattie. As expected, we're seeing the number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus continue to rise.
Yeah, Wisconsin now has more than 100 confirmed cases this morning. Right now, we are sitting at 117 positive cases being reported. The latest coming out of La Crosse County overnight. Dane County currently has 23, and Columbia County is now dealing with its first 2 cases. Roughly 1,600 people have been tested across the state so far. New this morning, the DHS has a new 4-tier system that determines who is a priority for coronavirus testing in Wisconsin. The highest priority are people already in the ICU with unexplained respiratory failure or pneumonia, and hospitalized patients with symptoms and known exposure to a place or person with COVID-19. The next highest priority includes healthcare workers with a fever and signs of respiratory illness. People who shouldn't be tested are those without symptoms or non-healthcare workers with mild upper respiratory symptoms.
Also new this morning, the director of university housing at the UW-Madison says the school's dorms could house overflow patients from local hospitals that are facing bed shortages. Jeff Novak tells the Daily Cardinal that Public Health Madison and Dane County already reached out to university housing to see if this could be a possibility. The more than 1,000 students that will stay in the dorms for the rest of the semester could be put into one building to separate them from incoming patients. Other universities have already made similar preparations.
More than 200 kids at a Wisconsin Children's Hospital are being tested for COVID-19 after a doctor tested positive. Children's Wisconsin in Wauwatosa says the doctor was exposed to someone who had the virus while traveling outside of the state. The Journal Sentinel reports the kids are being tested as a precaution.
As healthcare workers across the country are dealing with a face mask shortage, the CDC is out with some new guidelines for those officials. During a crisis, the organization suggests using face masks beyond their shelf life and even reusing those masks. If there are none available, the CDC suggests healthcare providers use homemade masks made from bandanas or scarves while treating patients with the coronavirus as a last resort only. only. The group says it doesn't know how effective these makeshift masks will be in keeping people safe.
Healthcare facilities across the state are keeping a close eye on their mask supplies as more cases of coronavirus are being confirmed. PBS Wisconsin reports supplies are already on back order, but the state will get a small portion of the equipment being given out by the country's biggest source of life-saving medical supplies. Those supplies haven't arrived yet. Health officials are asking you to stop buying the masks so that the supplies can go to the healthcare facilities instead.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials are temporarily postponing most arrests because of the coronavirus pandemic. NPR reports that instead, the agency will focus on only going after people who they say are public safety risks or people ordered to be arrested by ICE after being released from criminal custody. Right now, it's unclear how long this new policy will be in place. And some promising news for farmers this morning as concern grows about workers from Mexico being able to cross the border to work on farms here in America. The U.S. Embassy in Mexico City announced that it is suspending non-emergency visa appointments because of coronavirus concerns. However, the embassy says many, if not most, of these farm workers can still get their visas because they participated in the program last year and won't need another in-person appointment at the consulate. NPR reports about 250,000 of these workers came into the U.S. on visas last year, most coming from Mexico.
Coming up on 6:35, Hattie McLean is back now with more on your First Warn forecast. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Josh. We're dealing with some fog this morning. Here's a live look from our Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Not able to see a whole lot. The fog is pretty thick there. We're looking at visibility that's less than 2 miles in Boscobel. It drops to 1/4 of a mile in Dubuque. So southwestern Wisconsin and right along the southern tier of the state is where you'll see the worst visibility this morning. We've actually improved up a mile here in Madison, back to 4-mile visibility. Now, not a whole lot on the radar map around here, but if we zoom it out, you will see lots of activity. These showers and thunderstorms have just been growing and filling in coverage across parts of Nebraska, Kansas, even into Iowa and Missouri this morning. All of this moisture is headed into southern Wisconsin, so it'll be a couple of hours yet before we see that widespread rain, but it is on the way. And the severe weather outlook again showing an enhanced risk for parts of Iowa, parts of southern Illinois. In between, it's a slight risk for severe weather, and it does include southern Wisconsin this morning. North of Dane County, you're under a marginal risk for those severe storms. Now, here's a look at your future track forecast model if you want to try to time out this rain. If you're trying to get outside to get some fresh air, temperatures are relatively mild this morning. You have a couple of hours yet. At 8 o'clock, most of that rain will still be west of the Mississippi River Valley. By the time we get to lunch hour, though, that rain starts to fill in across southern Wisconsin, so not as nice to be outside. And we're especially looking at the potential for some lightning and thunder with some very heavy rain, so you don't want to be outside this afternoon. Temperatures, though, will at least be in the 50s. The threat for severe weather continues up until around midnight. Then that rain moves out of the area. With colder air moving in, there still is the potential for a little bit of snow on the backside of the system early on Friday morning. Rain amounts, though, on the high side for this time of the year. Many spots looking up at over a ½ inch of rain. Here in Madison, we could see almost an inch of rain. As far as snow accumulations, well, that is possible, but any accumulations should be pretty light and mainly confined to the grassy surfaces. Your extended forecast brings that sunshine back into the area just in time for the weekend. It will be chilly, though, starting out in the teens on Saturday morning, climbing to only the mid-30s during the afternoon. We do get back into the low 40s on Sunday. Keep in mind, if you do have to travel this morning, that there is some fog across the area. Otherwise, no major issues to report.
Thank you for tracking all of that, Hattie. We've been talking a lot about the importance of social distancing. It's the reason that Josh and I so far away from each other. How are you doing over there, buddy?
I'm
good. We're so far away from each other, and why Hattie stays over there in the weather center. But all this distance can take a toll on our mental health.
Yeah, the key is staying physically distant but emotionally connected. Staying positive is crucial when everything around you could feel a little crazy, and if we're alone, experts say that's really hard to do. A lot of the time when we are just in our thoughts, UW mental health professionals say we can start to think negatively, which can lead to anxiety and depression. Most of us have been there. Technology can help you stay connected. The key is connecting however you can, but try not to do that daily and stop to take a deep breath every once in a while.
And in the words of High School Musical, we're all in this together.
There you go.
Right. Part of the reason the city feels emptier right now is because a lot of us are being asked to work from home with the added workload of taking on teaching from home as well.
Yes, statewide schools are closed indefinitely, and if you're a parent doing double duty as an employee and instructor, Leah Linscheid is here to give us a heads up on some of those free resources you can use to your advantage. Leah, I know you've been home for many days now. How are you holding up?
Hi, Josh and Christina. Yeah, I've been home for 4 days. You're right. I miss the newsroom. I miss you folks, but I am lucky enough to be able to work from home. If you are lucky enough to be able to work from home and you're parenting as well, you know the importance of a schedule to keep your kids on track during this unprecedented time. We wanted to offer a couple of options for you. We do have some free templates up on channel3000.com right now, but here are a couple of ideas to help you build your own. I want you to think about creative time. This is something your kids would be doing at school anyway, right? Whether it's coloring or playing with Play-Doh, maybe listening to music or making your own if you can handle that. And I also want to remind you, screen time is definitely okay during this time. Again, lots of free educational videos out there. We have a host of them up on channel3000.com. I also want to talk about dividing and conquering. If you have a partner at home, this is a great idea to help you manage both your workload and your parenting. Maybe you can start to split up time, alternating shifts between taking care of the kids and taking some time to do some work, and also taking some time to just be by yourself, take some me time. Maybe you can't split time. Maybe that's not an option. Perhaps your partner is still at work. That's okay. Maybe you divvy up chores instead. Good idea there. Now, I keep mentioning it, but we do have just a host of resources for you, really valuable tools up on channel3000.com. Again, templates to help you build out a schedule hour by hour for your kids, for your family. We also have educational videos, some of them from Disney Plus maybe, that come along with workbooks. You can keep your kids busy and learning at the same time. Just a host of free online tools. I really want you to take a peek at that. If you're struggling to keep your kids busy, if you're struggling to manage both work and parenting at this time, all of that up on channel3000.com. Josh and Christina.
Leah Linscheid reporting from home once again. Leah, thank you. 6:40 is your time right now. Hattie's updating her alert day forecast with the chance for some severe weather coming up.
And while all the news about the coronavirus can seem overwhelming, we are introducing you to some of the helpers who are making everyone feel some joy this morning. The stories that'll make you smile coming up right after this.
While our country is experiencing challenging times, our more than 80,000 helpful smiles are working tirelessly for you. Because of the unprecedented demand, there may be some items in this week's ad you may not be able to find in our stores. We appreciate your patience as we work to get more supply. You can still count on hot deals and low prices, and you'll find those on HyVDeals.com. And we'll now be open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., allowing time to restock shelves and provide a clean, sanitized store.
It's time to spring forward and embrace the longer, brighter days ahead. It's also the time to get your home improvement projects going with 33% off windows, siding, and doors at Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2021. Kickstart your season, save some serious cash, and let the good times roll. Feldco, improving lives, one home at a time.
33% off ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
You take care now. Bye, Jen.
You did it. You told her that during Steinhoffel's employee family price sale, everyone gets the employee discount.
I couldn't do it.
Give me one good reason why. Is that me?
Steinhoffel's employee family price sale has been extended. This is your last chance to get 40% off on the largest selection of the best brands at the best prices. It's Steinhoffel's employee family price sale.
There's always next year.
Or never.
Okay then, why do professional builders and remodelers choose Nuns? Appears to be reason number 307, which must be that folks really appreciate the expert help of a Nuns designer. Oh. And at the big box store, expert help might not be available. So why should you choose Nuns? Yeah. Isn't it obvious? Nuns. Kitchen, bath, and flooring.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
Russian intruders are making their moves on social media to disrupt U.S. elections.
This blurry distinction between foreign and domestic groups pose a lot of challenges to tech platforms.
Can they be stopped? News 3 Now investigates tonight at 10.
At News 3 Now and Channel 3000, we're committed to providing you with information that is accurate and up to date.
We'll bring you breaking news alerts and everything you need to know to keep you and your family safe.
News 3 Now, your local coronavirus headquarters.
Welcome back. There are a lot of updates to this coronavirus pandemic. Those can be very overwhelming for all of us included. But we want to highlight some of the good that we're not only seeing in our communities, but across the country.
Yeah, we're going to start in Dane County, where the Madison Water Utility is suspending late payment fees indefinitely. The company says they're working to minimize the personal and financial stresses that have developed because of the virus. Any customers who are able to pay on time are asked to do so. The company also notes that they'll never disconnect customers' water supply because of late payments.
We've been getting calls from people saying, you know, we're not going to be able to pay this month, and they're stressed out. It's a hard time, so we're trying to do what we can to at least alleviate a little bit of that stress.
There are also options for payment plans for anyone who needs assistance.
Now let's head to Colorado, where a man dressed as Mr. Incredible is leaving roses on his neighbor's porches. It was all caught on one homeowner's front door security camera. The person who caught it on video says it put a smile on her face and that she wanted to share this moment of kindness with everyone, and we're certainly glad she did.
Oh, I love that story. Back here in Wisconsin, volunteers are delivering food to local pantries and nonprofits in Milwaukee. The Pfizer Hotel made it all possible, donating fresh food and loading it all up into one big truck.
We have a truck, obviously have the time because we're stuck at home.
One mom who is busy juggling her children who are home from school is also making time to help her neighbors. She's leaving notes in their mailboxes that she's ready to pitch in by doing grocery runs, making meals, or reaching out to those who just need a little human connection.
You know, I was listening to my Oprah podcast yesterday. Oprah always has some good words of wisdom, and she said that maybe instead of asking why is this happening to us, ask why is this happening for us, and maybe it's for reasons like this, for these stories that we just showed you.
It's amazing the things that you learn about yourself, about others. You know, it's a time where we are all a little confused and a little frustrated, but I think we're going to get through it, and I think it's going to really put things into perspective once things do get back to normal.
Definitely, we'll get through it together, even if we're physically distant.
Yeah.
Another person physically distant, Hattie McLean.
Yeah, she's tracking our first warn forecast this morning. Some severe weather today, Hattie.
Yeah, hello from the other side of the studio. We do have some fog outside this morning. We've been taking a peek at that Queen Bee Radio sky cam, and here it is again. As it starts to get a little lighter outside, you can really see how widespread the fog is. There is a risk for severe weather today. Today is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. That slight risk includes Madison and Milwaukee and all points to the south. If you have to be outside, the driest part of the day is going to be this morning after the lunch hour. Pretty likely that you're going to be getting wet if you're outside. Rain chances then really come down after midnight tonight. Here's a look at your temperature trend. It is going to be a little milder today, though, with high temperatures in the lower 50s.
Thank you so much, Hattie. Now, ahead in the morning sprint, a major bank is closing 20% of its stores. We'll tell you what you need to know.
But first, it's March 19th, and I want to say a special happy birthday to my son, Evan. He's 3 times 3.66 repeating today. But I hope you have a happy birthday, Evan. Thanks for celebrating with us and with News 3 Now this morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Hi. Hey.
So what are you working on?
I'm in kind of a yard off. Rob. Bill.
Follow me. Make your yard the envy of the block this spring at Lowe's with savings on Craftsman, Scotts, and Honda. So you stay ahead of the pack. Get Miracle-Gro All-Purpose Garden Soil for $4.28 every day. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
For 90 years, we have been at the center of the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on being helpful and doing whatever it takes for our customers. And while our country is experiencing challenging times, we believe we can get through this together. We are doing everything in our power to get you everything you need. Because of the unprecedented demand, there may be some items in this week's ad that you may not be able to find in our stores. We appreciate your patience and support as we work to get more supply. We also realize that now, more than ever, you need to save money. That's why you can count on us to still bring you hot deals and low prices, and you'll find those on Hy-Vee's social media pages and HyVeeDeals.com. And finally, to create a better working and shopping environment, we are shortening our store hours and will be open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., allowing us time to restock shelves and provide a clean, sanitized store. Our more than 80,000 helpful smiles are here, working tirelessly for you.
Okay. In my Johnsonville commercial, they open on a game show set in the 70s. Today we got Johnsonville smoked sausage made with 100% premium pork. Some brands mix meats and add fillers, but not Johnsonville. Contestant number 1 bids the closest, so he wins a boat. And he says, I don't want that boat. I want the sausage. What if I told you that boat is filled with Johnsonville smoked sausage? And that's a smoked sausage commercial made the Johnsonville way.
Only the 5 and Up lineup from Pizza Hut lets you get some of these, a bunch of these, or all of these. Starting at just $5 each when you choose 2 or more. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You've pondered and pinned your wedding ideas? Now put them into place with Event Essentials. Our professional event staff can guide you through expert design with our high-quality, on-trend rentals. Plan your perfect wedding with Event Essentials. We supply everything but the guests.
Everything you care about is in this house. Things you just can't afford to lose. And that is why we exist.
Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
6:50, time for the morning sprint.
And we want to start right away. Biggest story of the morning, meteorologist Hattie McLean, an alert day in the forecast for first time in a while.
Yeah, and not for winter weather either. This is for springtime showers and thunderstorms. It is an alert day for southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at Doppler track this morning. You can see that line of showers and thunderstorms filling in quite a bit just over the last couple of hours, and it's moving in this direction. So after 10 o'clock, we'll see that rain here in southern Wisconsin. Your severe weather outlook does indicate there's a slight risk for severe storms here in southern Wisconsin. Main threats today would be damaging winds, but also cannot rule out an isolated tornado. Temperatures will be at least a little milder, though, with highs in the low 50s later on this afternoon.
The other big story this morning, we're seeing the number of confirmed cases of coronavirus grow. Right now, Wisconsin has 117 positive cases, with the latest report coming out of La Crosse County overnight. Dane County currently has 23 cases, and Columbia County now dealing with its first 2 cases. Roughly 1,600 people have been tested here in Wisconsin so far.
The DHS has a new 4-tier system that determines who is a priority for coronavirus testing in Wisconsin. The highest priority are people already in the ICU with unexplained respiratory failure or pneumonia, and hospitalized patients with symptoms and known exposure to a place or person with COVID-19. People who shouldn't be tested are those without symptoms or non-healthcare workers with mild upper respiratory symptoms.
The director of university housing at the UW-Madison says the school's dorms could house overflow patients from local hospitals facing bed shortages. Jeff Novak tells the Daily Cardinal that Public Health Madison and Dane County already reached out to university housing to see if this could be a possibility. If the school allows it, the more than 1,000 students planning to stay in the dorms for the rest of the semester would be moved into one building to separate them from incoming patients.
As healthcare workers across the state keep an eye on a dwindling mask supply, the CDC has out with new guidelines for health officials. During a crisis, the organization suggests using face masks beyond their shelf life and even reusing face masks. If there are no masks available, the CDC suggests healthcare providers use homemade ones, including bandanas or scarves, as a last resort.
JP Morgan Chase is temporarily shutting down about 1,000 bank branches to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus starting today. Reuters reports the company will close the branches to protect their employees. Chase is the first among major U.S. banks to temporarily shut some operations as a precaution against the pandemic.
A surge in newly laid off workers is crashing unemployment websites in states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Oregon, and New York. This comes as more than 4 million hospitality workers are at risk of losing their jobs because of coronavirus. The number of workers filing for unemployment could exceed 660,000 a week.
Social distancing can be hard on our mental health. The key to getting through it all is to stay physically distant while remaining emotionally connected. Experts say to connect however you can through text, FaceTime, or Skype. Those methods will help pull you out of your own thoughts. Try to do that daily, and don't forget to stop and take a deep breath every once in a while.
The coronavirus is now known to live on some of the surfaces in your home as long as 3 days. It can also linger in aerosols, which are tiny particles in the air for 3 hours. A new study from the New England Journal of Medicine indicates that transmission is possible within 72 hours for stainless steel and plastic, 24 hours on cardboard, and 3 hours in aerosols.
I'm Leah Lynchide on day 4 of working from home, and if you're doing the same, we have some free resources for you to juggle work and parenting. Routine is king. We know that kids really thrive on schedules, and so do we, so try to keep things as normal as possible. Start the day with a care plan, just like any other day, getting the kids up, eating, maybe take a walk outside. Then the work plan, a block of time for schoolwork, and don't feel bad about sprinkling in screen time, especially if it's educational. Plus, take advantage of teaching some life skills. Have the kids help out around the house to teach responsibility and take some of the workload off of your own back. We have a list of all of these free online resources, including scheduled templates and educational videos, up on channel3000.com. Back to you.
Thank you, Leah. Hope you enjoy your day at home. The Trump administration says it will suspend foreclosures and evictions on homeowners until at least the end of next month. The move from the Department of Housing and Urban Development is aimed at providing relief during the ongoing outbreak. The suspension applies to single-family homeowners with Federal Housing Administration insured mortgages.
Hy-Vee is reserving special hours for older customers in response to coronavirus concerns. The company will allow people 60 and older, expectant mothers, and anyone with an underlying health condition to come in from 7 to 8 in the morning every day to shop before opening to the public.
Twitter says it's expanding company safety rules to include content that could put people at higher risk of transmitting the coronavirus. In a thread on the platform, Twitter Safety says it's now requiring people to remove tweets that include content that denies expert guidance, encourages fake or ineffective treatments, and provides misleading content from fake, quote, experts.
Just into the newsroom this morning, Amazon says an employee working at one of its New York shipping facilities has coronavirus. It's the first confirmed case in a U.S. delivery network that has millions of Americans relying on during this pandemic. The company temporarily closed the Queens facility, sending workers home with full pay so it can be sanitized.
Breaking overnight, Harley-Davidson says the company is suspending production at most of its U.S. facilities after an employee at one of its Wisconsin locations tested positive for the virus. The person works at the Pilgrim Road Powertrain location in Menominee Falls. All company-sponsored events are canceled now through mid-April.
And we want to check in with Hattie. Those storms headed this way, Hats.
Yes, keeping my eye on the radar map this morning. The storms are showing up to our south and west, and they're moving in our direction. After 10 o'clock, they will start to spread into southern Wisconsin. Plan on getting wet this afternoon.
Mother Nature didn't get the memo that it's spring, but happy spring, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day.